Welcome back to our class. In our last video, we have introduced the concept of mergers and acquisitions. In this video, we will be discussing buyer motivations, or why one company would like to buy another company. Economists use the word synergy to refer to the phenomena of 1 plus 1 is larger than 2, which means the value of a combined firm is higher than a simple sum of the value of two individual firms. But what are the sources of synergy? The first one is economies of scale. Economies of scale refer to cost efficiency in producing a larger amount of products. For example, when the firm grows larger, it can spread fixed costs and overhead costs over a larger asset base. Next, workers in large companies can specialize through division of work. Specialization increases productivity and decreases per unit cost. Division of work is less likely for smaller firms. Let's say if you are the only employee of your company, then you will need to take care of production, marketing, sales, management, and everything. There is no way for you to specialize on one task. Besides, larger companies have bargaining power over their suppliers, so they can decrease their input costs with bulk purchases. And there is also cost efficiency in marketing. Okay, the next source of synergy is economies of scope. While economies of scale refers to cost efficiency over a larger asset base, economies of scope refers to cost efficiency in producing a broader range of products based on the current use of resources. A good example is a bread bakery. There are economies of scope if the bread bakery also uses its equipment to produce cakes and cookies. Another example of economies of scope is the acquisition of 51% of equity of Tianhong Fund by Alibaba in year 2013. Alibaba is an e-commerce company, but Tianhong Fund is a financial company. Tianhong offers a money market product known as Yuebao to retail investors. There are economies of scope in combining the e-commerce giant with a traditional financial company because Alibaba has millions of customer base and a ready-to-use mobile app. There is cost saving in marketing and building a platform for Yuebao. The acquisition also marked Alibaba's entry into the internet finance industry. Aside from synergies arising from operating cost efficiency, sometimes there is also financing synergy. Financing synergy means a larger firm tends to have lower financing costs because a larger firm is usually considered less risky than a smaller firm and often has higher credit rating. A good example of financing synergy is the merger of Constellation Energy Group and Florida Power and Light Company in 2005. Constellation Energy was a power trading company. Its competitors include power trading desks of major investment banks. Constellation had a credit rating of BBB, so it was at an adverse position compared to its competitors in financing. Florida Power and Light was a traditional power plant with credit rating of A. The merger with Florida Power and Light could allow Constellation to improve its credit status and decrease financing costs. Aside from cost efficiency in larger firms, another important reason to do an M&A is to gain control over a target company's decision-making. Buyers are willing to pay a price for gaining control rights. This price is called control premium. This premium equals the difference in purchasing price between a control-based purchase and a minority control purchase of shares. Another reason to consolidate the two rival companies is to increase market share and market power, as seen in horizontal integrations. The merger of two competitors in the same industry is called horizontal integration. For example, in year 1998, Exxon and Mobil merged to form ExxonMobil. After the merger, ExxonMobil became the largest oil company in the world. Sometimes M&A happens between two companies with a buyer and seller relationship. This type of transaction is called vertical integration. A very important reason to have a vertical integration is to build the supply and demand chain of a business. For example, a company may acquire its suppliers to ensure in-time supply of inventory or customer-desired inputs. A company may also acquire its downstream buyers to build its sales channel. For example, in year 1988, General Motors acquired 45% in National Car Rentals. General Motors is a car manufacturer, and National Car Rental is a buyer of cars. This is a typical vertical integration. The next motivation is a reverse merger. A reverse merger is a merger in which a private company may go public by merging with an already public company. This is a less costly way of going public by avoiding the complex IPO process. But a major difference between a reverse merger and an IPO is that a reverse merger does not raise any money from the public. A reverse merger has the following steps. First, a private buyer needs to find a target public company called a shell company. A shell company has no active business operations or significant assets, and the private company needs to gain control over the board of the public company by purchasing its shares. In the next step, the public shell would then issue shares to repurchase the business of the private company, after which the business of the private company will be transferred to the listing company. The private company ceases to exist, and all shareholders of the private company own a substantial majority of shares in the public company. This type of transaction is called a reverse merger because, in order to preserve the public shell, the target company continues to exist, but probably with another name. Though there are many economic reasons to drive companies to engage in mergers and acquisitions, there is a non-economic reason too. For example, managers can be driven by management hubris. Management hubris refers to the situation where management seeks to acquire firms for their personal ego and pride of running a larger firm. Mergers and acquisitions driven by the desire of running a larger company is also called empire building. An example of management hubris is the case of Vivendi, a French water utility firm. The CEO of Vivendi, Mr. Messier, wanted to be a leader of an international media company by acquiring movie studios, TV companies, and book publishers between year 2000 and 2001. There was hardly any synergy for a traditional water utility firm to diversify into the media industry. The acquisition came at huge cost to Vivendi. Vivendi lost 13.6 billion euros in 2001 and 23 billion euros in 2002, which was the largest annual loss in European corporate history. Messer was forced to resign from his position with Vivendi in July 2002. Okay, in this video, we have discussed both economic and non-economic motivations for firms to engage in mergers and acquisitions. Thanks for watching. In our next video, we will continue to discuss takeover tactics.